Grabe ang tensyon sa naganap na open bicameral conference matapos umalma ang ilang miyembro laban kay Justice Secretary Boying Remulla. Nabigla ang kalihim ng diretsahang harapin at sagasaan ni Kong Rodante Marcoleta ang kaniyang mga paliwanag hinggil sa mga isyung kinakaharap ng pamahalaan. Sa gitna ng mainit na talakayan, maring tinutulan ni Marcoleta ang mga sagot ni Remulla na anyay paligoy-ligoy at walang matibay na batayan. Binigyang diin ni Marcoleta na hindi na dapat lokohin ang taumbayan at panahon na upang ilabas ang buong katotohanan sa mga isyong bumabalot sa pamahalaan. Samantala, kapansin-pansin naman ang pag-iwas ni Remulla na magbigay ng diretsahang tugon, bagay na lalo pang nagpainit sa mga kritiko. Dahil dito, muling nagningas ang panawagan para sa mas maikting na investigasyon at pananagutan ng mga nasa puwesto. Ayon sa mga eksperto, ang pagtutunggali ni Marcoleta at Remulla ay patunay ng lumalalim na banggaan sa loob mismo ng pamahalaan. Ang tanong ng bayan ngayon, hanggang saan aabot tapatan at sino ang mananaig sa dulo?
Expectation unnecessarily by citing the Constitution, people's right to information, especially on the transactions, the fields of transactions, and then we will put that limitation as provided by law. Mr. President, the senators are national representatives, our people. The House of Representatives is comprised of more than 300 district representatives and party list. They too are elected representatives of our people. In this concurrent resolution, we are admitting, although impliedly, that our mandate of safeguarding the people's money needs people's participation. Parang hindi kumpleto. Ba't kailangan pa naming tulungan kayo? You were there, you were elected. Baka isipin sa atin ng tao yan, Mr. President. Nandiyan na nga kayo eh. Now you are making a concurrent resolution. It is as if that you cannot do your job fully. Hindi naman sa ayaw naming tulungan kayo. We are always ready to help you. The people are also interested in guarding the people's money. Pero saan ba kami talaga makakatulong sa inyo? Pagdating sa... Kasi po, ako po bilang isang naging congressman, Mr. President, may access na po ako sa information. Like... bago po ako mag-graduate sa House, ito pong pinakahuling budget, 2025 budget. Mr. President, when we were already on the first day of plenary debates, alam po ninyo, yung unang subject matter sa first day on plenary debates, ito po yung general principles. Wala pa pong agencies, Mr. President. I was about to ask some questions on the parameters set out by our national economic cluster. Hindi po ako nakapagtanong, Mr. President. A battalion of my colleagues prevented me from asking questions. So, Mr. President, kung ako po ay nandun na mismo, gusto kong magtanong man lang ng ilang tanong, hindi pa po ako nakapagtanong eh. Paano kaya po yung mga kababayan natin? How do we assure them? We wanted to give them a level of expectation, Mr. President. How do we do it? Paano natin sila pagbibigyan ng yung participation will be heard, it will be recognized, it will be vetted, kagaya po ng tinatanong ni Senator Soto kanina. Interesado siya rin na talagang malaman talaga. Talaga bang madidinig? Yan po ang gusto kong itanong, Mr. President.
Well, Mr. President, in the resolution, we also required that both houses should come up with a feedback mechanism, Mr. President. Kasi nga, you're absolutely correct, His Honor, that the information will be out there. People will be encouraged to look at the different details of the of our budget, and they will do their own analysis. But they have no way of reaching out to the senators. They have no way of reaching out to their representatives. There's no way for them to send their feedbacks. So that's why in this resolution we also included a platform through their websites that people can now send their feedbacks, Mr. President. So it comes full circle. The information is there, but we also receive information. So that is the concept, Mr. President, that we are envisioning.
That will be going back to my original question, Mr. President. Kasi sasabihin sa akin nung public, ano ba yung pwede kong gawin na hindi mo pwedeng gawin? Nandiyan ka eh. Nakabantay ka nga dyan eh. Gusto kong malaman, sabi niya, Mr. President, yung hindi mo kayang gawin, kami nang gagawa. Yun ang exactly na gusto ko sana malaman kasi yung tao po naghihintay. Gusto rin nilang tumulong siguro, bakit naman hindi? But what are those things? What are those information that they themselves should access that we cannot do?
Well, Mr. President, like for example, meron ba tayong slide? Yung my X-check? Can you flash it? Mr. President, I'll flash a slide, no? And when we were doing the analysis of the process, we found out that only the NEP and the GAA is publicly available through the website, Mr. President. So if you are, let's say, a budget analyst, no? You want to analyze the budget, ito, Mr. President, only the NEP and the GAA is available in the internet. All the rest of the documents in between are not available. So if you want to analyze the budget, especially the movements, it's very difficult for analysts to track the movements because those information is not available in their website. So yun yung gagawin natin available, Mr. President. That the movement in the budget, especially critical documents, will be uploaded as mandated by the two houses, Mr. President.
And each of the senators of this republic, Mr. President, is in a position to secure the assistance of a budget analyst.
Not necessarily, Mr. President. People expect us to know the basic of the budget process and budget analysis. Of course, not all of us come from the same background, but the public expect us to know at least the basics, Mr. President.
That is the point, Mr. President. Ako po, dahil neophyte ako, I would expect a lot of assistance from my staff, mga kaibigan po namin na makakatulong sa pag-a-analyze ng budget. Importante
Correct,
po
Mr.
kasi
President.
ito. So sasabihin sa akin nung mga kabarangay ko halimbawa, which constitute a small portion of the public, bakit mo pa kailangan itong mga barangay mo? Meron kang mga staff na doon na mag-a-analyze dyan, matutulungan ka. Siguro hindi na kami kailangan sapagkat kami napakarami rin naming problema. Tsaka mas meron kayong paraan at saka kayo may mga tao din kayo na talagang tutulong sa inyo. Parang sa kanila ay kalabisan na. Parang hindi kami masyadong makakatulong dahil sa kayo naman ay merong karanasan at kung wala naman ay talagang maraming tutulong din sa inyo para pagtulong-tulungan yung pag-a-analyze ng budget without the people themselves. Except, for example, in other instances like the academe, talaga naman pong nakakatulong yan.
Yes.
At talagang nandyan naman po sila talaga.
Yes.
Not necessarily the general public.
Yes.
Ano po?
Tama, Mr. President. In fact, typically, even here in the Senate, we engage the academe quite often, especially those who are involved in, let's say, public governance or political science. Parte ho yan ng kanilang mga aralin, Mr. President. So, in other words, we can also tap the academe to help analyze the budget. The budget is it's a very complex document, and ang dami hong detalye. So if we can engage the academe to also participate in the analysis and help give us fruitful recommendations that can form part of our process, Mr. President.
Yun pong 2025 budget, Mr. President, gusto ko po sanang gawing isang halimbawa ito. Nung matapos po yung BICAM, ako po ay member pa ng House of Representatives. Natanggap ko po yung BICAM report. Kung hindi po ako nagkakamali, mga December 6 po yun, 2025, but about 6:35 in the evening. So napakakapal po yun, siguro about 400 pages, if I'm not mistaken. I tried my best na sundan po talaga, pero given the limited time, kasi masyado nang seguido po yun eh. Ang napagtunan ko na lamang po ng pansin, yung pinakahuli, Mr. President, I'm referring to the special provision in the BICAM report. Napansin ko po talaga, there were about 12 or 13 pages containing about 28 blanks. So ang ginawa ko po, Mr. President, ay tinignan ko po, pinagsikapan ko pong hanapin kung merong instruction na nandun nakalagay, like I was expecting that an annex is appended in the report where the material particulars that will be accomplished to fill up the blanks, the instruction to fill each and every blank in every page, sana nandoon yung, for example, on page 22 halimbawa, this is supposed to be the figure that will be written para maka-accomplish po yun. In other words, di ko po alam kung nagkamali ako, but I was unable to find a particular page signed by the conferees o ordering somebody, for example, the administrative staff of the House of Representatives or whoever was assigned to fill up those 28 blanks na nandun naman talaga halimbawa po and pinirmahan. Okay na rin siguro sa akin yun because hindi tayo mawawala because each blank has been designated with a particular data na ilalagay po sa blank. Wala po eh. So I was asking, nagpunta po ako sa office ng Secretary General. Nagbabakasakali po na makahingi ng, makita yung enrolled bill because sa ating tuntunin, I think even in the Senate, meron pong 3 or 4 copies na naiiwan po sa either the Senate or the House of Representatives. The problem is, wala naman akong access. Ito yung pinag-uusapan natin eh. Because I need to know, sino yung nag-fill up? Kasi po, nung ito'y submit na sa Office of the President in the form of enrolled bill, 4 na po yung signatories doon, Mr. President. Eh. The Speaker, and the Secretary General, the Senate President, and the Senate Secretary. Yung blank po sa pinakahuli, ay po ang para sa Pangulo na po. Doon na sa pipirma. So yung enrolled bill, kompleto na po yung detalye, but it did not tell the whole story as to who filled up and what is supposed to be filled up in all those material particulars. So yun pong public access natin, yung taong tutulong sa atin, paano po mapiprevent yung mga ganong pangyayari?
Well, Mr. President, thank you for that question. In fact, I raised that to our technical team here in the Senate that those things should not happen in the 2026 budget. Not under my watch, Mr. President. That the members will be given blank materials to sign, Mr. President. I reminded them to be very strict in the review. Kung kailangan po 2, 3, 4 times to review the documents before letting the members sign, they should do it, Mr. President. So that's a strong reminder to the technical staff, Mr. President. So I know that narinig ko rin yan, Mr. President, during the last budget season, Mr. President. I'm not very sure on the details, Mr. President. Personally, I didn't see any blank items, at least sa akin, Mr. President. But since that is an issue that came out, so I reminded our technical staff to be very detailed in scrutinizing the budget materials, Mr. President, especially the ones we will be signing, Mr. President.
Thank you for your assurance, Mr. President. Kanina po, nilapitan ako ni Senator Ping. Pagtulungan natin, sabi niya. Thank you, Mr. President.
Tulungan o pagtulungan?
Pagtulungan natin si Bonji.
Thank you, Senator Marcoleta.
Eto, dito na tayo sa part nitong si Senator, pangalan ito? Ping Lacson.
Ping Lacson is recognized and interpreted.
Thank you, Mr. President. Will the good sponsor of Senate Concurrent Resolution Number 4, the distinguished gentleman from Valenzuela, yield to just a couple of questions, Mr. President?
Yes, Mr. President, I would be, again, it's an honor to receive questions from, I call Senator Ping the budget hawk of the Senate. Talagang hawk-like yung kanyang pagmamonitor ng budget.
Thank you, Mr. President. My first question is, what is the legal effect of a concurrent resolution as compared to a law passed by Congress?
Well, Mr. President, the concurrent resolution will bind both houses, Mr. President. It's true that the law can also bind both houses, but in this case, since this is a resolution, it's expressing as well as binding both houses in the recommendations that are laid forth in this resolution, Mr. President.
And the legal effect of a law passed by Congress is?
Well, the legal effect of the law is...
it binds even the public. It's binding on the public as well as the
yes,
houses of Congress.
Correct, Mr. President. In this case, it's only both houses that are bound.
It is more institutionalized. I mean the law.
Yes, Mr. President. Correct.
I asked that question because I filed Senate Bill 32.
Yes, Mr.
In
President.
the 20th Congress. It was referred to your Committee on Finance, and secondarily to the Committee on Electoral Reforms and People's Participation.
Correct, Mr.
And I hope we can collaborate
Yes, Mr. President.
to schedule a hearing forthwith.
Yes, Mr. President. You have my guarantee on that measure, Mr. President. I took a look very quickly on that measure, and it's a very good measure that empowers the public, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. As a matter of fact, this is the 5th time that I'm filing this measure. I filed it in the 14th, 15th, 17th, and 18th Congress. Unfortunately, hindi po lumalabas sa committee. Walang committee report. So I'm glad that there is now this concurrent resolution being sponsored by unanimously by all the members of this house, of this body. So anyway, my second question is, will the uploading of documents as mentioned on page 4 and enumerated on lines 3 to 26, particularly the written individual amendments submitted by members of the House of Representatives and the Senate to the respective chairpersons, House Committee or the House Committee on Appropriations and the Senate Committee on Finance. Yung po ba kasama rin sa ma-upload ng mga dokumento? Kasi ang practice po natin, even in the House, pa second reading pa lang, may bulungan na. Hindi na take up sa plenary. Hindi po ba ganyan ang ating naging practice? Because it's too tedious, I understand. Because if we entertain all individual amendments on the floor, baka hindi tayo matapos. So, for exigency, para ma-facilitate, ang ginagawa na lamang natin, nagsasabit ng mga individual amendments sa chairman or sa chairperson ng Senate Finance Committee. But ang question ko po is, pati ba yun i-upload natin sa website?
But Mr. President, since the committee report of the GAB from the Senate side will be uploaded, we will now see the changes, Mr. President. Makikita natin in to from, Mr. President. So, in other words, we will now have the ability to look at the changes on a very granular basis per PAP, per office, even sub-offices, Mr. President. Makikita na natin ngayon, Mr. President.
I understand that, Mr. President. Ang problema lang doon is hindi natin malaman kung sino ang sponsor or proponent ng amendments.
Well, Mr.
If we
President,
upload it, then we will be able to identify and we can point back to the proponent or proponents of the amendments.
Yeah.
That's my concern. That's why I ask if written submissions of amendments will also be uploaded, so we can identify from both houses, no, the House and the Senate, sino yung nag-insert, sino yung nag-realign ng or sino nag-introduce ng amendment para madali makita. Kasi sa ngayon bulag po tayo lahat eh. Nakita lang natin bumukol sa isang district, no, from say 200 million, bigla na lang naging 15 billion.
Tama yan.
And
tama
we
yung
cannot
sinasabi ni
identify.
Lacson na yan, ha?
We cannot
correct.
point to the district representative. Simply because yung iba nagpa-park. And this is a common practice. We all know that, ano? Particularly yung mga party list representatives, wala naman silang distrito. What they're doing is, pakipark nga dyan, pero sa akin yan. So, yun po yung point ko. Kaya gusto ko, uploaded natin with proper identification ng mga proponents. So, I go back to my previous question. Will it include the written submissions of amendments ng individual members, particularly individual amendments, Mr. President?
well, Mr. President, we had a long discussion on that. No, I consulted the technical staff, LBMRO, and some of our experienced technical staff. And the way I understand it, Mr. President, some of the amendments evolve over time. And at the same time, Mr. President, when someone makes an amendment, no, for example, nagdagdag sila, Mr. President, typically it's the chairman that looks for the source para dagdagan yung magbabawas sa iba. And at the same time, the amendments also evolve. Like for example, nababawasan or just to have the same effect, it's moved to another PAP or moved to another office. So in other words, Mr. President, the original amendment that might not be the same with the final product.
Nevertheless, Mr. President, all I want is to trace back to the proponent or proponents, no matter how many proponents there are. If these are amendments to the amendments, then fine. But we have to be able to identify kung sino po yung proponent or proponents ng amendments. Can we do that, Mr. President? Kasi we are for full transparency.
Yeah.
The best or the most genuine transparency is full transparency. Kasi kung hindi rin full transparency, parang ano tawag dyan? Ayoko sabihin ng lolokohan, ano? Pero hindi rin fully transparent eh. It will defeat the purpose, Mr. President. Because what we should know or identify, yung proponent, kasi naandun po yung taguan eh. Pagka hindi ma-identify, back to the proponent or proponents of the amendment or amendments, ano, kanya-kanya tayo singitan na naman dyan, Mr. President.
Well, Mr. President, that's why when we were discussing that internally and I was consulting with the technical staff, because of that complication, my alternative is to make sure that the third reading, first the committee report, Mr. President. Surprisingly, to be honest, for mga ordinary bills, diba, Mr. President, yung mga committee report, ina-upload natin. The third reading version, ina-upload natin. But surprisingly, in the budget, we don't upload the third reading report as well as the committee report. So there's no way to track the changes. So in other words, Mr. President, when we were analyzing the situation, just to avoid complexity in terms of tracking down the documents, we will now upload the committee report. And doon sa committee report, nandun na lahat, Mr. President.
But we
all the final changes
but we won't
will
be
there.
able to identify the proponent of the amendment. Unlike in an ordinary measure or bill that we tackle, everything is recorded. Everything is tackled on the floor, including individual amendments. Kasi nandyan, may minutes tayo. Ang problema sa budget deliberation, nag-iisang measure, pinaka-importanting measure, maski wala na tayo may pasang batas, ito, must pass talaga ito. Ang problema, hindi nga transparent. Kaya na-embolden yung mga ibang, mga ibang congressmen or even senators na magsingit ng kung ano na. Anyway, hindi naman matrace sa akin yan eh. That's my concern, Mr. President.
Yeah, I get
if we want to be transparent, let's be fully transparent.
I get the, I acknowledge that Senator Ping has been tracking down the budget
Ang
for a
hirap
very
po
long
maghanap
time.
pagka nagre-review, pagka by budget deliberation. Hirap na hirap po kami ng staff namin. Pag naghahanap ako sa yung previous year's budget, napakahirap. Pero kung merong record ako kung kanino nanggaling yung amendment, mas madali ho maghanap.
Yeah.
Yo.
Well, Mr. President,
Dapat po talaga sa tingin natin lahat kung kanino man nanggaling yung amendment, yung mga sinisingit-singit, di ba? Yung mga pinapakiusap-pakiusap, dapat ilagay din yung mga pangalan ng mga walang yung bonding na naglalagay ng
President,
ganyan.
I am thinking kasi of the entire budget process. And I'm anticipating, for example, one of the vice chairmen will recommend. And nakikita ko kasi minsan ang recommendation, kadalasan ng recommendation pataas eh, hindi ho pababa.
Never mind. As long as we identify the proponent, then that's fine with me.
So the complication that we see based on my consultation is how do we attribute the amendment, the specific amendment, if there are other amendments that will happen to enforce or to operationalize that amendment.
Then let's track them, Mr. President.
Yung pagkuha ng pondo.
Kung ilan yung nag-amend sa amendment at inamend yung amendment, at least we can backtrack.
I get the point of Mr. President. It's just the...
It's not really difficult, Mr. President. If we want to do it, it's not really difficult. Because if we upload all the amendments, even amendments to the amendments to the amendments, hindi mahirap i-upload yun, Mr. President.
Yeah,
Especially written amendments, hindi yung amendments on the floor.
I get the point of...
Thank you.
It's good.
Thank you, Mr. President.
It's just when we were discussing it, actually we talked about that, to be honest about it, Mr. President. It's just how
Tutulong po ako, Mr. President.
How
So, paano natin gagawin?
how you track down the amendments. Kasi minsan isang amendment po, may dalawang modification, tatlong modification. That's the complication that I see, Mr. President.
At least we can backtrack and identify kung sino yung nag-modify. Sabi ko nga, amendment to the amendments, and that's allowed.
Yes, correct, Mr. President.
So why can't we upload everything?
Sometimes the chairman, in this case, the chairman will also amend that amendment.
And then,
Mr.
so
President.
be it. Let's identify that the chairman also amended the amendment.
Well, take note of the proposal. We'll study, Mr. President. It's just how to operationalize it. That's yun ang naging naging.
So it seems that it is not acceptable because sa period of
Magandang balita ang hatid namin sa inyo ngayong araw. Sa pagtatapos ng aming balitaan, nagbigay kami ng mga mahalagang impormasyon. Maraming salamat sa pagtutok at pagsuporta sa aming programa. Huwag kalimutang manatili sa mga susunod na araw para sa mga bagong balita at mga kwento na dapat nating abangan. Mula sa Boses ng Masa, magandang araw, Pilipinas!